Hey my friends, welcome to Vlog Thursday. It's the Late Boy Scout, and today for Vlog Thursday we're doing a quick and dirty review and comparison of the Gerber Dime versus the Squirt PS4 by Leatherman. That's actually the ES4, and this is also the style right here, the style PS. So I'm going to explain why it is. I've got both of those there instead of the actual PS4 here in a second, but first the intro. Dun, da, 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 dun. Alright guys, thanks again for tuning in. Yes, it is going to be a quick and dirty review. The Gerber Dime, I used to own this. This one right here is on loan from Blade HQ. Tell them thank you by heading over and buying some stuff from their website. The Squirt the ES4, also on loan from Blade HQ. Once again, tell them thank you by buying some stuff from them. And of course, the style PS is here to represent the pliers of the PS4 as I do a comparison of this against that, because again, in every other way this is the same as the PS4. So why do I have an ES4 here instead of a PS4? Because I lost my PS4 on a roller coaster, or at least at a theme park, or it's actually not a theme park, it's just a, you know, an amusement park. But anyways, lost it at an amusement park, and yeah, I just haven't gotten around to buying another one. So I said to my friend over at Blade HQ, Mark, the cool guy in video, I said, could I just borrow a couple of things and do this quick video comparison that I've been meaning to knock out for, gosh, 6 months? A long, long time since I first picked up my Gerber Dime, which, again, is also gone. And the quick story on that is it was confiscated at an airport. I could have mailed it to myself, that's true, but the fact is I didn't like it all that much in the first place, so I just let them have it. And if that's all you wanted to know about this review, do I like the Gerber Dime, you can tune out right now, because no, I don't like it all that much, especially not in comparison to the PS4. But let's get into why that is. Why don't I like the Dime as much as I like the PS4? Yes, the Gerber Dime is a decent tool. I think it's pretty well done, actually very well done for Gerber. And I've seen some of their other small multi-tools, which I'd never been attracted to. I didn't like. I thought they were too big. I didn't really get any good work done. At least I didn't think they would anyway. And so when I saw the Dime, I was like, that is actually a really good size and extremely usable, or appears to be. I need to pick one up and test it out. I did. I dedicated, it was my only keychain pocket multi-tool for a few months. And I grew to like it in some ways and dislike it in many others. Let's compare sort of the pliers here. And this is, again, the Squirt PS is going to stand in for the PS4 pliers-wise. You can see some differences there, some very clear differences. On the Gerber, you can see the kind of the way the needle nose sort of comes together is very interesting, very different from the way the Leatherman does. Okay, that's an interesting quality, and you may like that about the Gerber and may want to go for it for that reason. I would understand if you do. Also, the gap right there is a little larger, a little more rounded than on the Leatherman. Also, I can see how that would be attractive. The pivot seems okay. Seems to be well constructed. A lot of grease there. I'm going to leave it there. And it's definitely, I would say it's on par with a Leatherman as far as durability and of construction. It seems just fine. The springs on the Gerber work equally as well as the ones on the Leatherman. I feel like the ones on the Leatherman are a little, what would you say, have a little more resistance to them than the ones on the Gerber. And I think that's because you can see just down in there where the spring is, it's kind of nested inside there somewhere, but that little line you see, that's basically one of the, or kind of where the spring is, or kind of how it's operated. So it is actually a small, like, spring. And when you think of a spring, that's what is in here. Whereas with the Leatherman, you've actually got this little sort of bar right here that's getting resistance and pushing up on some of the pieces that are back here. If I can press it, you'll see this piece kind of raise up just a little bit. And that's where the spring tension is actually coming from. And so that's mounted in a way that's, I think, is much more robust and durable. So I think that the springs on the Leatherman are superior to those on the Gerber. And I'll give Leatherman points there. So that's about all I can say about the pliers. The wire cutters seem to be on par with each other. And there are different versions of the Dime, by the way, in different colors. This is the black sort of tactical one. Yeah, but the wire cutters appear to be on par. And so I would say that they're equally good. All right, but what else don't I like about the Dime? Let's get into some of the other features on it. Some of its complement. Before I get into some of the complement of tools, let's talk about some design flaws that I see in the Dime. This right here, you can see that it's got a cool look to it in the way that this kind of comes down this way, and these 2 points kind of meet right there, and then this is sort of like slanted right there. Again, it's cool looking, but is that very functional? I find that when you open this up right here, those 2 points scrape against each other, and that becomes a point of wear, and the anodization rubs off of that scale very, very quickly. And again, just kind of becomes a point of wear, a wear mark. If you don't mind that so much, then you won't care. But I think it's a little bit of a design flaw, and they didn't need to do that. It contrasts that against the Leatherman, which is rounded on each side. Much more, I don't know, just a smarter design as far as just kind of giving you some durability of wear. So I think Leatherman gets points there. All right, so that knocks down the Gerber a step. There is this little bottle cap lifter, which I think probably works a lot better than any such lifter on the Leatherman. Which, does it have one like that? Let's take a look on the inside again. It'll be right here if it's here at all, and there it is. Okay, I would say that the Gerber has definitely got Leatherman beat. It's bigger, it's deeper, it'll work a lot better than the one on the Leatherman, without a doubt. What else have we got on the Dime? Well, we got to close it back up, I think, in order to look at some of the other tools. We've got right here kind of a sheep's foot blade, which I never had any issues with. I think it works really well. I do kind of like the idea of a sheep's foot blade on a small multi-tool like this, actually. So, yeah, that's good. Compares, you know, the one on the Squirt is also fine. It's more of a kind of a drop point blade. Works fine too. It's chisel ground. You know, nothing. I've had no complaints about that one. Whereas the Gerber is not chisel ground. Okay, it's ground on both sides. But again, I've had no issues with the one on the Leatherman. So those are the blades compared. Now let's look at some of the other tools. Moving on down the Gerber, down the line with this thing. There is, let's see, hard to pull out right there. That's our flathead screwdriver. Compare that to the cap lifter slash flathead on the Leatherman, which has more reach. You can see that. And I would also say that that's one of the tools I used a fair bit on my Dime. And I'd use that, well, let me just state this, on my PS4, I used that screwdriver as a pry tool frequently. Like a small, light pry tool, but as a little pry tool. And I tried doing that on the Dime and got this pivot all bent up. Okay, it wasn't terrible, but it was a lot more play afterwards. And the Leatherman has held up to a lot more of that kind of abuse than the Gerber ever did. So I don't know if I think structurally the Gerber is just not built to the same standard that the Leatherman is. And that's from my own testing. Again, I lost the ones that I did that testing to, so I can't show you the wear and how it was moving around afterwards, but you're going to have to just take my word for it. The Leatherman can take a lot more abuse in regards to that type of stuff. Another tool here is the Phillips screwdriver with the little file on it. Now that's a brilliant combination, I think. And if you open it up like so, then you can actually get full use of it. Right? The ring does not rotate out of the way, so that can kind of dangle around there while you're trying to file something down perhaps, or you might take the ring off. Or if you have that connected to your keys, it will just be in the way all the time. Anyway, the fact that it's there is nice, and so I do appreciate that. How does it compare to the two-dimensional Phillips head on the Leatherman, however? Pretty favorably. It's got slightly more reach. All right, I would say that it would work just as well, perhaps better in some situations. Yeah, I think it's a good addition, and it'll be just fine. Moving on, though, we got more tools to look at on the Dime. If I can get this thing closed off camera real quick. We've got scissors, I believe, and let's look at those. I think they're fairly well executed. We'll look at the spring on it. I think it's pretty well done. Okay, those have always felt pretty good. I use those a fair bit and did like them. We'll look at those and compare them to the scissors on the Leatherman, which are where? Right here. And again, it's a very similar design and sort of how the spring is built, kind of a mirror image. But each one works very well. So, yeah, pick your poison. I think they're just fine. Either one's really good as far as scissors are concerned. But we do have a couple other things to look at. I think we've got this sort of big file here on the Leatherman. So it's a dedicated file, and that could also double as a sort of a longer flathead screwdriver. But a more of a dedicated file, which I have used a lot and like it a lot. Just that little extra reach and kind of a dedicated file. It goes a long way, and it does help, I would say. And over here, I think this is the last tool on the Dime. This is a package opener. All right, and I've tried this out. It's a little difficult to get it started, mainly because the one I had, at least, was not sharpened all the way to the tip. This one seems to be much sharper, though, a little bit better fit and finish on this one. So, as long as that's well sharpened, you'll probably get some good use out of that for opening those clamshell packages, kind of pressing into that and then just kind of tearing through it like that. Yeah, it's a good tool as long as it is nice and sharp, and I think you'll enjoy it. Overall, though, on what else? I think there might be one other thing. Is this? Do we have some tweezers here? I think we do. Some tweezers on the Dime, which the Squirt PS4 does not have at all. The PS4 just left the tweezers out, did not put those in at all. We do have tweezers on the Style PS, right here. Yeah, this Style PS has. I'll just set this down for a second. The Style PS does have its tweezers right there, and they're tweezers. What do you want? What do you want? They're simple. Simple, plain, they're both going to work just fine. All right, so what it comes down to, what it boils down to for me, was really durability. After having done and again, when I talk about the prying that I did with this Dime, or the Dime that I had, I don't mean like I was trying to, break open a safe or something ridiculous. The type of work that I was trying to do with this, I had done many times with this. So to see this one kind of structurally give in a little bit disappointed me. And so for that reason, and also kind of the design cues that I just don't, they look good, but I don't, it's prone to wear quickly and stuff like that. I don't think it's built to the same design, or built to the same structural standards that Leatherman is built to. And that is probably reflected in the price, where the Squirt PS4 is going to be wherever you, depending on where you pick it, pick it up between $25 and $30 maybe, whereas the Dime will be a fair bit less, like 25% less than that, maybe under $20. In fact, the Dime that I bought, I think I got in a 2-pack with something else for $20 around Christmas time. So, yeah, the Dime is definitely going to be a more affordable tool, but I do think that the Leatherman is the more durable tool overall. Is the complement of tools on the Dime better than the Leatherman? Yeah, kind of yes, kind of no. It all depends on what you really need, right? And as for me personally, I like the complement of tools on the PS4 just fine. I don't think that this has anything above that one or on this one that it really needs to have. But if you like what the Dime has, go for it. I just don't think you're going to get the level of durability that you get with the Leatherman Squirt P4. And that has been my Vlog Thursday episode. No cuts, no breaks, none of that good stuff to make a video higher quality. But I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope this has been helpful to you. I'm the Late Boy Scout, again for Vlog Thursday. Thanks for watching. See you later.